Welcome back to Questions Daily Weekly. It's lovely to have Adam and Dave here. We're asking the questions that you've put below. I say it every week, it's my favourite bit because the people who are dedicated leave comments. Like from 15 Fahid says, can Chelsea do an Invincibles this season?
They could.
Right.
I think there's too much quality for them to do an Invincibles this season.
Interesting.
And I think,
even Mourinho says it.
Yeah, there'll be injuries, there will be a loss of form to people like Diego Costa, Fabregas. So I think just nowadays, 10 years after Arsenal did it, the league's a little bit stronger throughout. So it'll be difficult for them to do it, so I don't think they will.
Who do you tactically see them tripping up against, though? If they've come up against the likes of Liverpool, they've come up against City, they've come up against all the guys who are going to make them look good. Is it in the Champions League where they might
That might be why, because they've played like a midweek Champions League game and then they've got to play at the weekend. It could just be fatigue that's going to cost them this Invincibles run. I think they will be upset by a team like West Brom or Villa.
West Ham? Frustrated? Stoke?
Someone will figure out a way to break them down.
At Ruiz says, talk about Barcelona's downfall. There's not a question. Barcelona are losing their identity. And I think there's an article earlier in the week. By signing Galacticos, they're relying on expensive players instead of their style. A number of teams have almost given up this identity in recent years. United fans had a go at City for doing it, and they've signed arguably a number of Galacticos. Barcelona now with their team of Galacticos, a lot less Catalans in there.
The wrong strategy completely.
When you've got the money, it's not the wrong strategy. They're buying their way into the next level.
It's a system, it's a structure, it's a team. You want to keep the ball. You're bringing players in like Luis Suarez that are fantastic individuals, fantastic players. But he's not a Barcelona. I wouldn't say he's a Barcelona style player. I think he's a more Madrid style player.
Yeah, okay.
Counter-attacking player, not like a we love the ball, let's pass them to death.
Gives them an option.
Does give them an option.
It'll be interesting to see how it works out. They do seem to be going away from their style, so it doesn't seem to work the last season and sort of working this season-ish, but see how it goes basically.
Yeah, tiki-taka did work for quite a while, but arguably maybe we're in the next stage of football.
Exactly,
now.
You've got to adapt, but I think it's too early to say downfall, but they're certainly not as good as they were, are they? But I mean, can't maintain that sort of dominance.
Breakdown is breakthrough. Are Arsenal becoming a one-man team? That's from George W016.
It looks like it, doesn't it? Sanchez.
Yeah, we spoke about this. I
He's
don't
good.
think they are.
Well, he's doing a lot for him, isn't he?
Yeah, we'll see. I don't think they're a one-man team.
I think when there is one player though that is outperforming the rest, people start putting him in that group of one-man team. But I wouldn't say they're a one-man team. But I think
they're not a one-man team. But at the moment, he's so good that he's bringing them through games.
Yeah, he's lifting them, I think.
Yeah,
could you say the same about Diego Costa at Chelsea? Chelsea arguably did not create enough outside of that.
Aguero wouldn't have, Man City wouldn't have got a point at keeper if it wasn't for Aguero. So.
It's just a strange concept of one-man team. I don't think there is a concept of one-man team. I think there's one individual that's just better than the rest.
Or there's one individual in form and the team playing to those strengths. So that's not a one-man team. At LS7ZH, thoughts on Rodgers' transfers?
Bad. They spent 200 million on 22 players, and only 2 of them have been a success: Sturridge and Coutinho.
Only 2?
Yeah, I'd say only 2 have been an unarguable success.
What do you think? Okay.
But it's not necessarily Rodgers' fault because there's a transfer committee at Liverpool. Other people have an input into it, but you'd say that hit rate's pretty poor. People like Sacco, 18 million.
Sacco's injured.
No, but I'm not saying he's bad right this second, but I'm saying he hasn't looked incredible, has he? For 18 million for a defender. Lovren, we're saying, looks shaky. So I'd say that it's a bit hit and miss. Joe Allen for 50 million, things like that. But transfers are difficult. They are difficult. So, Dave, do you think Fellaini has cemented his place in the United starting 11, and why? What's the difference between 12 months ago with Moyes and now with Van Gaal?
It's a more confident Fellaini. It's a more combative Fellaini. You look at his tackles, you look at his interceptions. They're all on the up. He's a bit of a threat, but I think he's for big games only, maybe, or an impact sub. I would rather have Herrera there, a bit more craft, a bit more guile. One of United's best players in the opening few games, scored a few goals. I don't think so.
Okay.
Not cemented.
Just for the big games.
Just for the big games.
Big lad.
I also think it's not possible to cement your place in that team with so much rotation.
That's true.
Next question.
So shut up. Who will win La Liga?
Real Madrid. Because Barcelona are looking a little bit shaky, Atletico Madrid as well.
Sevilla getting some results.
Yeah, they're not going to win the league though, are they?
Sevilla playing the nice football.
They are.
Who do you think's going to win? Madrid?
Probably Madrid, yeah.
Barcelona.
Barcelona?
Yeah.
He called it.
He's called it.
Reckon they'll come from behind?
Yes. I think they're just better at beating the smaller teams. Ancelotti, with the Champions League latter stages, Love the Champions League. Switch off a little bit in the league. Barcelona will fly through.
11 Champions League. I imagine that. This is a really good high-end question here. It's like asking, do you like diamonds or pearls more? Hazard, Di Maria, or Sanchez? Who would you rather have in your team?
That's a tough question. Isn't it? Sanchez.
Yeah.
Di Maria? Oh, I do like Sanchez, but I really like Di Maria. If you build a team around Di Maria.
On current form, it'd have to be Sanchez, wouldn't it? But I'd also say, seeing as my team is Spurs and we're lacking goals, I'd have to go for Sanchez. He's the more prolific.
Why
I'd say
Sanchez,
because Sanchez is more prolific than Hazard in terms of goal scoring.
Do you think Hazard would be as prolific if he was not at such a good team? I mean, I know he was quite good at Lille, wasn't he, before he moved to Chelsea? Do you think if he was at Liverpool right now, that would be a big difference to Liverpool?
Yeah, 100%. But I think with how old he is, the likes of Di Maria and Sanchez are probably hitting the peak of their career. There's a lot more to come for Eden Hazard, and he's just going to get better and better. I think that's potentially you'd want Hazard for the longer term. Sanchez now.
Di Maria's 26. He's maybe at his best right now.
Yazid A asks who will be in the Champions League finals.
Real Madrid and Bayern Munich. Ooh, will it be Bayern Munich? It'll be Real Madrid.
You can only have two teams.
Okay, Real Madrid and Bayern Munich.
Bayern Munich, Borussia Dortmund.
Real Madrid, PSG.
I'd have to say I think Real Madrid are going to win their 11th. I think they're going to do it. They look so good. Yeah, they're poor.
Can I actually change my answer?
Yeah.
So a more concrete answer. I'm going to go with Bayern Munich versus Chelsea.
Oh, that would be an amazing fight. And Pep Guardiola versus Jose
Oh,
Mourinho.
what
Brilliant.
a final.
If we're saying Chelsea can go, if Chelsea maybe can go on an Invincibles run, do you think it's possible for them to win the Champions League?
Yes, 100%. I think structurally they're brilliant. Formation is working at the moment. In all the bigger teams, Mourinho hasn't lost against one of the big teams this season. You know, he's picked up a lot of wins. So.
Diego Costa in there, a number of good players.
Last year semi-finals with a pretty poor Chelsea team. This year maybe they go one step further.
We're just picking shit out of the air, aren't we? We don't care. Whatever, yeah. Doesn't matter if they're on the same bloody arm of the Champions League draw, mate. Doesn't matter. Yeah, they'll meet in the semi-final or something. Yeah, wicked. Thank you very much for watching Questions Daily Weekly. It's been lovely to have you along with Dave and Adam. Of course, if you've got any more questions, then go and leave them in the comments below. Until next time, that's Questions.